Introduce yourself to us.
Okay. To the camera, right?
Me or the camera, it's up to you.
Hi, my name is Nataliya Begisheva. I'm an artist from Ukraine. I came to Australia last year because of the war in Ukraine. In the past year was really challenging for me in every sense, but now I'm here and try to move forward. In my native town I have my own art studio where I worked with my colleagues, with different artists, where I made my painting and had a pupil. But even today I continue to work with my pupils online, and
what kind of art do you make?
I make a painting. I prefer oil painting, but the last time I worked with acrylic. I use, if you see to my painting, you can find that I use geometrical style, and it is I use geometrical rhythms. With these rhythms I create my own artistic form. But it was a path. At the beginning, if I say about my journey, I can tell that I'm a kind of artist who became in the art when I was adult, because my first education was psychology, and yes, but I think that psychology helped me to find my true calling. When I worked in the office, after the work, when I could pay for my lessons, I started to take lessons for painting, drawing. I was lucky to find a great teacher for me, and at first I just take lessons in private art studio. It was famous Ukrainian artist Viktor Lysenko, and he taught me a lot. At the beginning, academical art. We spent a lot of time outdoors, and then I educated in contemporary art school in Kiev. But it was Victor who taught me thinking creatively, not just paint, but analyze my thought and find some different the subjects which I like. So
how old were you when you decided to?
I started when I was 25 maybe, and
this is after your psychology?
After my psychology, yes, and it's take a couple of years, but I studied intensively because I was like thirsty about knowledge of art, and at the same time when I traveled I visited a lot of museums, galleries in different country in Europe, and I think it's also important part from knowledges for every artist, and I think that it's necessary.
What sparked the decision? Did you do art when you were young and drop it, or what sparked this decision to be after a psychology degree to?
In the beginning, I didn't understand it, and when I was child, I always liked drawing, painting, and my grandfather was an artist. I didn't know him, but I always in the house of my grandmother were a lot of his painting, oil painting, with different images. For me, it was like, I don't know, fairy, and I remember that I spent a lot of time there, and always it was. I think that it pushed to me before. But in my family, nobody was like art person, and at the beginning I didn't understand that it's my way.
Okay. And the style of art that you do, how did that evolve? So you started studying, how did this style evolve?
Actually, it's because of my teacher, and I always liked non-figurative art, and I liked abstraction, and for me, I get that it's more interesting. Because if you can find something especially for you in the art, it's it can give you some feeling, new feeling, and maybe some thought. I exploring different styles, and I tend to avant-garde style. I like my favorite artists. It's like Malevich, Kandinsky, the first artist who create this abstract and avant-garde style. Picasso with his period of analytical cubism, and I think that's why I choose this style, and I use my geometrical rhythms in my painting.
Back to your psychology degree. Does that influence does that help you with your art?
I think it helped me a lot. It helped me to understand myself, my decision, and of course, when I work with kids, with pupils, it helped me a lot, and also yes. It helped me because for me it's not just picture. For me it's like some path to find something inside, and also it's like I try to create some dialogue with the viewers, and I really like to speak with viewers at the exhibitions where my painting, for example, and it's always interesting to listen which image, which form they can find for themselves. It's always different, and I think it's important. It's like a chance to touch your mind. I don't know, to explore your mind and your feeling.
What kind of themes do you like exploring as well? And how are you trying to connect with your audience?
During my experience, I create several series. It's female images, it's city landscapes, also still lifes, and one of my favorite series it's painting with birds. And birds, it's for me it's for me it's a very interesting character in my painting, because it's not just about the birds. It's I think that this character have a lot of association, and maybe I compare the birds with the human, and the wings. Birds who have wings, I compare it with some possibility maybe to fly, to move up, fly down, move forward, and it's like a journey, and I think that it can give a lot of association for your mind.
Does that tie into the psychology as well? Like, I'm sure Carl Jung has a lot to say about birds. Is there do you have a psychological association with birds personally? I'm asking that because I do.
Probably yes, because a lot of people wants to fly, and if we say not about real fly, but we can do it in our mind, and I think that yes, maybe it's because of psychology. I don't know.
You were mentioning pupils. You teach.
Yes.
You're a teacher.
Yeah.
You teach art.
Yeah, I teach, especially children, because I don't know, children love me and me too.
So, are you teaching them painting, art in general, or?
Yeah, it's from the first steps. Usually I started from classical way, and I think that it's important. It's very interesting process to teach of art.
And this is here?
No, here just online. I did it in my studio. Maybe when I will more strong with my English, I will start do it here. Who knows?
So online with students.
Yeah,
in Ukraine.
yeah, in Ukraine and different countries, because a lot of pupils also leave our city, but thanks to internet.
Yeah, that helps, doesn't it? I guess I'd like to know about exhibiting. what do you think of exhibiting? Is it something you enjoy? Because you're quite introverted.
Yes, I'm quite introvert person. It's just difficult to make the first step for me, and I feel a little frustrated in the big company with people who I don't know. But I'm an optimist, and I always to try think positively, and I believe that I will find here the people with the same like-minded person.
Is it something like, say, like putting on an exhibition or being part of an exhibition, opening night? Is it like something you do it because you have to do it, but not necessarily because you enjoy things like that? It's just part of the job.
I would like, of course, I think that every artist would like to show their artworks, and me too. And I would like to participate to some exhibitions, and I believe that one day I will do it here, and maybe I believe that I can find new opportunities here. We'll see.
How, in your opinion, how do the galleries differ in Melbourne compared to Ukraine, Europe, like especially the smaller galleries? Are they similar? Is there noticeable differences in kind of the attitudes of owners and patrons and things like that?
I like that here a lot of galleries. I think that really a lot, and of course I have visited the biggest, like National Gallery, Victoria, Contemporary Center, so on. And it's always interesting to visit small galleries. I don't know if it's different. Probably I don't know. I saw here a lot of interesting artists and in different style, and I like that here a lot of places for art places and different art activities. I think that in my country maybe a smaller opportunity to do art or to show their art. But I find I'm sure that Melbourne it's very have very high quality of artists and galleries.
That's good to hear. And I guess along a similar line, I guess the attitude of Australians in general towards art and artists compared to in Europe. Do you think there's a difference there? It's a point of curiosity for me, because I've been to Europe, but only briefly.
I searching it even in the Instagram. It's there a lot of small. It's more simple that visit all of them, and I understood that there are a lot of professional artists and who works in really different styles. A lot of abstract painting and realism and botanical. It's interesting. As for difference, I think maybe it's just my impression that here a lot of artists who works with really light colors, and I mean that colors of their palette of colors, a lot of contrast, like warm and cold colors. Maybe it's because of the sun. I don't know. If compared with Europe, I think that they're more calm colors. Just the first impression. But as for quality, I think that it's really strong.
Oh, that's good. I'm sure people will be happy to hear that. Now, I don't want to dwell on this kind of aspect of your life too much, but you know, there's a lot of tension in your home country at the moment, and I'm sure that's very hard for you. But I've looked at a fair bit of your work, and I noticed you haven't put anything relating to that, what's happening in your work, whereas I know some other artists do that. Is there a reason? Like, do you just want to do you not want to think about it, or just a point of curiosity for me? You don't have to, if it's too tough of a question, you don't have to answer it, Natalia.
No, it's okay. It's not easy subject for me. It's always some pain. But at the first time when the war was started, I have a couple of painting because of my impression about it, and I think it's changed me, and
As an artist, it's changed you?
As an artist,
and as a personal?
As a personal,
yeah.
of course,
yeah.
And I have some plans to make new artworks with my feeling about it. It will be always actually for me.
Well, you just led me into my next question, which is, what's planned for the future? Where do you want to go? It sounds like you have a desire to exhibit in Melbourne or Australia. I'm thinking you probably want to go home at some point when you can.
Actually, I can't answer this question today, and the plans. I continue to create. I think that when I will make enough painting, I would like to show it here, and I don't know if I will stay here or some another place or another city in Australia. I don't know. But at this period when I'm here, I think that today I'm enough. I mean that I'm almost ready to start my new page in my art life.
That's good. Well, I don't want to torture you too much, Natalia, so we can wrap it up there if you like. Well, you can keep going. We've probably got another hour and a half worth of memory card on the camera if you want to keep talking for that long.
I don't know. Maybe it's for today it's enough for the first time. Thank you.
Anyway, thank you, Natalia, and wish you all the best.